I was trying to do everything I possibly could to do that stupid Draw My Life video, and all I got was this, and then the footage looked like this. So I would just tell you, that's what I thought I was going to do, so this is me telling you. So I was born in Eschenbach, Germany. No, I'm not German. I don't live in Germany anymore. I don't speak German. I moved after 9 months of living there. Honestly, I don't really know where I moved to. I think it was either Georgia or Michigan. I don't know. I know I lived in both of those states at one point in my life, but I don't really remember anything up until I was like 4. I lived in Clarksville, Tennessee, and my parents got divorced. Now, I wasn't the only child. Before, my mother had 2 children and my father had 2 children. After Clarksville, Tennessee, I moved to Fort Campbell, which I think is in Tennessee or Kentucky. I think that was really nice because I got a sense of freedom there. I was in kindergarten and we could basically just do whatever we wanted as long as it was still on post. My kindergartner's teacher's name was Miss Anna, and she used to rock me in her chair when I would cry that my mother was away. She's still in the Army, so I should probably include that. For the 1st grade, I had Miss Lawwell. All I really remember from 1st grade was that one time I asked, "How do you spell flower?" when we were taking a spelling test. I also had a speech impediment and I couldn't pronounce my R's, so I would say flower or dinosaur. They would always give us these scratch and sniff stickers that smelled like strawberries, and it was really nice. After Fort Campbell, we went to Virginia, which is, I guess, where I would say I'm from, but I only lived there for 4 years, so yeah. We lived on Fort Lee for 3 years, and we went to 2 schools when we lived on, and that was Walton Elementary and Harrison Elementary. That was really weird. We didn't move bases, we just moved over. My mom realized that she wanted to have a real house that she could call her own, and so we went searching for houses, I guess, and we found this gorgeous one outside of Fort Lee, not too far, in Colonial Heights. We went to Margaret Christian School, or I did, for 5th grade, which is where I met my friend Danielle and my friend Megan and Dylan. No, I met him in 6th grade. So those, Danielle and Megan, they were like my main squeezes. I don't really remember any stories, but one time I got in trouble because I went to Danielle's house and I totally forgot to tell my mom, and she lived like way down the road and I just walked anyways, but yeah, that was a story. My mom, she went to Iraq. My sister was going through like a hard time with high school and stuff in her freshman and sophomore years, and so my mom asked me to live with my dad in Georgia. So I went and I lived with my dad in Georgia, and then 3 months after I lived there, he was called to go to Afghanistan. When I moved down to Georgia, I was living with my brother and my sister and my stepmom. I really loved my brother. He's still alive. I'm acting like he's dead. He's kind of like the main reason that I am the way that I am. He like got me thinking about like opinions and like having one for your own. He actually made me understand a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have understood if I hadn't gone there my 7th grade year. I didn't really like my sister. I mean I love my sister, but I just didn't like her. I didn't like to be around her. She was really mean to me all the time. We used to get along really well when I liked to play Barbies, and I kind of got older and more sassier, and everything kind of changed. And I think it's kind of sad because right now, like, she probably talks to me more than Nathan does. Then 8th grade happened, and 8th grade was probably the best year of my life. I had art class for first period, and my friend Rachel was in it, and her friend Maverick was in it. She actually ended up dating Maverick for like the rest of that year, and that was totally okay because we were just the perfect threesome, and we still somewhat talk. We kind of have lost touch because we used to be like absolute best friends, like next level shit. And then I don't know, she got in a relationship that was abusive, and it's kind of strayed us away because her boyfriend was very on top of her all the time, and it was really annoying. I also had a best friendship with Lily Griswold. She was really funny, and we used to just have this like two little thing, and then we would go over to people's tables because we didn't have like a big group to call our own as a table, and so we would go over and we would sit at the nerd table because there was always room, and then we would just sit there, and eventually someone would walk over and they would just hang their heads, and they were very nice people and they would not move us. I also met Will in Kansas. He was new mid-semester, and he was a 9th grader, and it was a junior high, so it was 7th, 8th, and 9th, and I went to 8th grade and he was in 9th grade. Then we talked all summer basically, and right around the beginning of freshman year we kind of stopped talking, but then we kind of picked up again, and we haven't really ever stopped since then. After I left Kansas, it was really hard because my father and my stepmom, they were getting divorced, and it was very sudden, and I didn't know that they were going to do this until after the summer of 8th grade. And that summer of 8th grade was also really bad. I left 2 weeks after 8th grade got out, and I thought my old friends from Georgia were going to be there, but they just weren't. Like, they were all busy, and so it was really hard because I was just like really sad and depressed. And freshman year I moved to Colorado and I went to Cheyenne Mountain. I was there for my freshman and sophomore year. It was really hard because of that summer. Bummer summer, hey. Freshman year I was basically depressed like the entire year until I met one of my friends named Chelsea, and Chelsea kind of brought me into all of her other friends that were exactly like us. Chelsea moved, and then over the summer we kind of got in a fight or something, and so we're not friends anymore. And then I hung out with Courtney and Sensi basically for the first like semester, and then I met Franny in tech, and he really only sat with us like one day, but he became like one of my best friends. We call him San Fran. Emily was also a big deal. We met on a bus ride, and I'm pretty sure she started talking to me because she wanted to get to know Franny, and she knew that I was like really good friends with Franny because she liked Franny. Franny's a boy, by the way, but that was okay because I don't know, it was fun. We didn't really like hang out too much after school, but we always texted, which makes moving away and texting extremely easy, and so we still talk like all the time. And yeah, that brings us to Italy. We left Colorado on August 28th, 2012, and we moved to Italy. It's everything weird with the language barrier. It's very scary to go places, and especially as a military American, are told not to do things, or not to hang out at very specific American places. It's humid, so it's like always green basically, like all the time, and it's really pretty. And this year has just flown by. I'm in my junior year. And do you want to see my drawings? There's me, my mom and my dad, and Mary. And there is a list of all the friends that I told myself to remember. And here is a storyline. I didn't explain my parents because it's hard to explain that, and that is another story. So yeah, okay, bye guys.